Hello and welcome to the Flickering Torch and the first episode of Mecha Hack Desperate Alliance. And my new camera that might die at any point. I don't know how long. Oh, we're muted apparently.
Ringing endorsement, Benjamin.
Oh, am I
Yeah,
muted?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me on the stream? Can someone check that? This always happens.
New technology, bro.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you on the stream.
Okay. Tempest.
We're
Okay.
good.
It's him! It's him! He's a troll!
Who is it?
Oh dear.
Someone just trolled me live on air. Excellent.
And-
I've got a new
and you
wonderful
hotlined
camera.
it
That
too.
basically this whole stream is just showing off this new wonderful camera. It might die at any minute, and then you'll get potato back. But until then, hello. Welcome to the. Wow. Welcome. You know I've got the. They know because they can see the stream. Never mind. Welcome to the first episode of the Mecha Hack Desperate Alliance, GM'd by the wonderful Addison up top there. I will now just hand the whole show back over to that guy. Addison, please.
Hello. So, welcome everyone. I want to do a bit of a quick shout out to my friend Matt Click, who designed this with his company Absolute Tabletop, thanks to his love of mecha RPG, mecha anime, and tabletop RPGs. So thanks Matt for letting us do this, and also as well, I just want to get everybody to introduce themselves. Not introduce their characters yet. That will come in a minute. So if we go to the bottom. I'm just trying to figure out.
He's looking at the stream.
Just name the person, Addison.
No.
Let's go
Say.
to bottom left. So that's Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm the Flickering Torch. I run this channel. I make these actual plays. I produce these, but I also make a bunch of videos on a Thursday. I'm very excited to play this game, even though I know very little about Japanese anime and then, by extension, mecha.
And then let's go across now to the middle. Jord, that's you.
That is me. Hello, everyone. I'm Jordan. I'm Uninformed RPG on YouTube and Twitter. I do the YouTube thing a little bit like Ben over there. Not quite as much in the way of videos yet, but hopefully one day. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this as well. Like, looking forward to being a player again after GMing the last campaign that we did. So yeah, let's go.
Let's go. And then our final player for now is hang on, my cat's knocking everything off.
This is going
Bottom,
so well.
bottom right.
There we go.
Abe.
Are you there, Addison? You just disappeared like 4 times. You back? Yeah,
he's
you're back now.
just lying on my computer. I can't. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Top lad.
He's just lying on my computer, like lad.
It's
So
warm.
bottom right. James, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Hi, I'm James.
Okay, and then I'm Addison from the Pod of Many Things. I am the GM for today and the next 9 weeks after this, and I'm going to have a lot to live up to after Jordan's fantastic run on Blazing the Dark Red Herring. So, without further ado, let's get into tonight's episode of Mecha Hack Desperate Alliance.
You nearly said
This-
Blaze in the Dark then, didn't you?
Yes. Yes. And episode 1, Lock-In, Odin moves out. So, welcome to Lodestone Alpha, everyone. Humanity's new home amongst the stars. After the Earth failed.
Don't
New
worry,
videos just
I'm
dropped.
fixing it. I'm fixing it. Don't worry. Keep going.
Black.
He's back. He's back.
Get rid of the cat.
Cooking
I
back.
didn't throw it. Like, I didn't do an alinity. It's fine. Like,
Yeet.
So, welcome to Lodestone Alpha, humanity's new home amongst the stars after Earth was ravaged by corporate greed, deforestation, over population, and over mining. The United Earth Parliament sent its final proclamation, which was the Arks. Massive ships filled to the brim with people that was sent all over the universe to settle new star systems. Each convoy was made up of 3 arcs. Arcs 11, 12, and 13 were sent to the mineral-rich Lodestone Alpha. But only Arcs 11 and 13 made it. Arc 11 being the ruling elite class that would later evolve into the Neo-Dominion, a feudal overlord and barony, and Arc 13, which were the workers, farmers, miners, factory workers, engineers, specially selected to help with the mining operation in Lodestone Alpha. Uh, 200 years have passed since that settlement, and the Neos Dominion formed a feudal system with themselves as the overlords, thanks to the fact that Arc 12 never made it. It was lost to everyone, and as the new royal family abused their workers, treated them poorly, underpaid them, a resistant movement called the Terran Collective rose up and took up the cause for those workers, which is the faction that our players belong to today. And they work hard to resist the Neo-Dominion. And once the Civil War broke out, it was believed that eventually the dust would settle and a new ruler for Lodestone Alpha would emerge. However, that was not the case. Because a year ago, Arc 12 reappeared, warped and distorted beyond belief, with technology never before seen to the two sides of the Neos Dominion and the Terran Collective, and they just obliterated both sides, pushing them to the brink and causing both sides to be desperately in need of a miracle to reclaim the star system that was once theirs. Advanced mechs, human beings that were barely human anymore now, and beam weaponry that shreds through metal like paper.
His audio's gone.
Oh, his cat's sat on the thing again.
That's the standard clear cat.
You
Not
weren't
clear
here
cat,
for the
it's clear
setup,
cat.
the half-an-hour stream, where the cat has done this about 5 times.
Am I back? I'm back.
Yeah, you're back, bro.
Rat boy.
So where did you lose me? Because I'm getting this cat.
Beam weaponry is where I lost
Fucking
you.
fat.
So
paper.
beam weaponry that could cut through metal like paper is now the super weapons of today's war, and now both teams, both the Neo Dominion and the Terran Collective, find themselves in a corner and reaching out to people who they used to consider enemies. So our session today starts on the exterior shot of deep space. The TCS Union, a giant frigate that once was used to transport coal and mining mechs, now outfitted for war. If the TCS didn't tell you it was a Terran Collective ship, that almost haphazard, like bolting of metal plates and guns to the side, in this like almost chimera-like way, would tell you that this is a Terran ship, because this is obviously what this is not meant to do. It's green and has the flag of the Terran Collective on the side, which is a green field with one solid golden circle in the middle. It looks, you can hear the odd blasting of asteroids to prevent serious collisions as automated defense systems allow you. Our interior shot comes into almost like this rolling pan shot of different cargo hangars with different names. You can see Balder, Thor, Freya, and we stop outside Odin, and where for our heroes, fireteam Odin, are currently licking their wounds after a previous skirmish has left two of their five hangars empty, and because of this, you can see two men, one man, one woman in the middle. Ben, would you describe your character for us, please?
So, I am playing Carter Frith, call sign Viking Harmony, who's the commander of fireteam Odin. He's got like stubble. He looks quite. He's supposed to be about 30, but he looks way older than that because he's got like really. He's got really big crow's feet. He's got like really big bags under his eyes, like he's been fighting for a long time. One of his eyes has been entirely replaced with a cybernetic golden eye. And he's got several scars sort of dotting his face. He's in standard sort of Terran military attire, so that's kind of like a black like form-fitting mech piloting like jumpsuit, but he's got like a green sort of military jacket over it. I guess we've just come back from this battle, right? Or have we been there for a while?
You're about a day out. You're about a day out from this battle. It's a very tense atmosphere on the whole ship.
Basically, Carter has just been like going over and over and over the battle reports since then to find out what went wrong. And you just hear him like every now and then like curse under his breath about support. And like where was our aerial support? And then like punching the console and then like rewinding the sort of hologram image of the whole battle and then starting it again. And he's almost doing like a play-by-play, like a John Madden play-by-play of the battle with like a.
You see as you punch the console, like a blue bust appear, white-haired, almost like hologram appears, and you see this woman, this feminine like figure. There's no real like gender to it. White eyes just look at you with the white freckles that actually, when you look at them, are ones and zeros. Like turn around and go, "You do know hitting me is not going to make me play faster, sir."
Where the hell was our air support?
Air support was not able to be distributed to the area. We apologise. It's not really my place, to be honest with you. I'm just a virtual assistant loadout accessory.
I'm sorry, Vala. I'm sorry.
It's understandable. We did lose two assets.
They were You know what, Vala? It's fine. When's our rookie coming?
Commander McGillis should be here soon, and she kind of looks at the other figure, a female figure. James, if you would describe your character for us, please.
Yeah. So Vasilia Fastloff. She's probably the youngest pilot in the collective at the moment. She's in her early 20s. She dug her mech up out of the desert and has restored it. It's an old Colossus model. He really wants to be involved tonight, doesn't he?
Hi,
Yeah.
Matt. Thanks for dropping in. That was the game's
He
creator,
does-
Matt Click, guys, who just posted this.
Oh, hi.
So,
Thank you, Matt.
Sorry, where were we?
Your character.
Yeah, so she dug her mech up out of the desert when she found it one day while traveling between her and her relations' dwellings. She's cornrow short hair, pulled back into a bun, has a pair of feathers on an earring on one side, black leather jacket, aviators, fixed up the old Colossus, and went to join the collective.
Like Vala, this virtual assistant that you use as a team, like looks at you and it's like, designation Voodoo Heavy. How is your psychological evaluation coming?
It's getting there, which means
I've been
I
asked
haven't
to-
done shit.
Yeah, she knows. She's like, I've been asked to remind you now. This is how many? And she like looks at you for a second, like almost like if an AI could furrow its eyebrows at you, it would.
I'd stand there ignoring that AI, looking at a part that clearly come out of a mech, wondering why it failed.
delete subroutine, reminder, designation, psychological evaluation, Voodoo Heavy.
She like stops for a second. And she's like, now will be by daily. Like that cannot be completely. This subroutine cannot be completely deleted by you, sir. This is from Commander McGillish, and as she says that, you hear, "Commander on deck! everybody, attention! Commander on deck! Like, and you kind of hear like the behind you there are mechanics working on your mechs, which are pretty beat up but almost repaired, and they just drop tools and stand straight as you see this dark-skinned man covered in like paling scars, green frohawk down the middle, quite a thick beard, Idris Elba kind of like looking beard, same sort of like jumpsuit on for the pilots, and the same sort of jacket, but whereas yours is black, his is green, and his jumpsuit is yellow to match like the Terran colors. But you do notice that his arm's in a sling, and he also sustained heavy casualties. Him and fireteam Azir took heavy casualties as well with you on the ground in your latest battle against the primacy. So, and behind him, Jordan, if you would describe what people can see behind Colin McGillish, the commander of the Terran Collective.
Yeah. So walking up behind the commander, you can see this rather slim figure standing quite tall, about 6'5", so quite a head and shoulders above the commander and the other people in the room. But what you can sort of what your eyes are sort of drawn to is the sort of greyish skin of this figure. They're wearing a sort of high shirt that they've got all like sort of not down the neck, like up their neck, and they're wearing the sort of a black coloured jacket in the same sort of style as the other pilots around. They've got very short, almost like shaven heads that's blue in colour, and there are these white markings below and above their eyes, and they almost don't look. They definitely don't look like human in the sense they sort of look almost a bit robotic, and they're sort of walking with a very expressionless face and a very piercing stare.
So Colin McGillish, the commander, looks at you guys and is like, and then looks back to like a bunch of people, and you can see now behind him is like this really tall, almost like forklift cage with a new mech in it, and he's like, "Put it over there," and he points towards Irin's old dock, and one of your former teammates' old dock, and you see that there's no mech in it because they couldn't recover her mech or her body, and they're slowly like driving, and there's like little knickknacks of hers all around, and people are beginning to box those up and put them in like boxes so they can. And McGillish is like, "Carter, come here for a second."
Yes, sir. I'll very slowly walk over there.
I'm still waiting for Vasilia's psychological evaluation report. Where is it?
I'll make myself.
Error with processing, I believe, sir.
Very well. I want it.
She's combat ready, sir.
Well, she better fucking be, because I ain't got time. You take the robot, and he like points back to the person behind him.
The beta tests, or they all turn out tip top then?
He like looks at you for a second. He's like, "They'll do, and you'll do as you are asked to do. Do I make myself clear?"
Sir, yes, sir.
Good. And he like goes to like scratch his like nose with his like slinged arm, and he's like, and he like then starts like, "We haven't got someone to replace Connors, so you're a free piece for now."
You sure that's wise, sir?
Well, I ain't got the manpower, so unless you've got someone that you can shit out your ass, Carter, you're gonna have to deal with it.
Rookie will have to do then, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Like, and you can see that he's very frustrated. He's just, you've all just had your asses handed to you, and he's like very, very angry about that. And he like turns around and he goes, "How about we get you guys suited and booted in a minute. Get the rookie briefed, let him know what you are, let him do what he's got to do, and then I'll hook Valor up to him, and he should be good. Any questions before I go?"
No, sir.
Good. We'll be entering hostile space soon, so all call signs will be to battle. and ready as we pass through Aeon territory towards our destination. You understand the mission objectives, don't you?
I will need to be briefed on them, sir.
Understandable. You've just had a hard time, but brief the rookie, and then I'll brief you on the mission protocols as you get into your mechs. Thank you. Godspeed, gentlemen. And he like turns around and leaves the hangar. And you're left with like this synthetic robot-looking man. And you can just see them awkwardly like packing Irin's stuff into a box. So there's like family photos, like little charms and knickknacks that you knew she used to collect from like different planets. Every time she went to a different planet, she picked something up.
You're stepping into boots some of us would rather left unfilled, rookie.
I can assure you, I am ready to fill them, sir.
Carter is just kind of studying your face for a second, and he notices how like unsettlingly robotic your eyes are. And he has in his military jacket like some aviators, and he just sort of fishes them out and hands them to you, and just goes, "Best if you meet Vizsla with Vasilla with these on. Your eyes are a little bit unsettling, son."
Thank you for these, sir. Unfortunately, and he opens them out and sort of goes to. He's seen this done before, so he kind of unfolds them, puts them on because he's got no ears traditionally, so they just kind of slip. He's like, I will have to make some adjustments, but if you so desire it, then I will wear them on ship.
Sounds like a plan. Come meet the rest of the... And then he stops. Come meet the other member of the team. And he strolls over to the Colossus, which I imagine is where you're hiding.
Yep.
You see Vasilla's like telling people off. You see Vasilla's like telling people off as well as they're like trying to like repair stuff. And she's like, they're like, no. That's
like
not
that.
guys.
Like
Yeah.
there.
Like,
And then just barging people out of the way, doing it herself. You know.
Vasilla, meet your new little brother.
Oh fuck! Sorry.
What have I told you about that goddamn communicator?
It goes off now and again. It'll be fine. Who's the Tin Man?
Don't call him that. This is what's your designation, son?
Designation Dagger Raven, sir. You may call me Doc.
Yeah, funny. I like it. This is Doc.
I find it easy to have a simple name. Sometimes these longer designations, they do not, how you say, roll off the tongue. So I believe a shortened name, it sets us a bit more casual.
Nice to meet you, Doc.
He nods, sort of very like robotically.
Give sort of do the sort of walk around examine. You have no ears. This is strange. You need to
You are
get
very
yourself some
perceptive.
ears.
I desire them not, nor do I have any need for them.
you like hear a little like voice come from behind you, and it's like you hear, "I like this one. He speaks my language." As like Valor appears like on the Vasilia's communicator, like,
Doc, this is Vala. If Vasilia here is your big sister, that's your mom.
that is a strange
will-
designation.
I will make a note of these relationships for my records, sir. And he nods again like he did before at Valor. Charmed.
She waves through the screen at you because like she's not projecting herself; she's just on the screen, almost like she's hijacked Vasilia's like phone.
I'll just
Hello.
wave the device around as well, as like a.
He's sort of like,
because it's funny.
again, in a slow, very deliberate movement, his like arm kind of lifts, his hand turns, and he just...
Very well. So, if you would kindly, Vasilia, help me upload myself onto the auxiliary unit, and you see now the cage like forklift has placed Doc's mecha into Irin space, and it's like pristine. It's a bit there's bits that have been like obviously salvaged from other mechs, but like compared to your twos, like this thing has never been outside. Like, and how that makes you feel is up to you.
Shiny.
I can assure you, sir,
I
she
would
is ready for
probably
that.
be very excited to see the shiny pile of stuff. Being the tech orientated person, I would probably be climbing all over this thing, shiny, new tech. You know, probably be straight up into the cockpit to have a look around.
Don't worry, kid. We'll get some dents on this real quick.
As he sort of
There's a
watches,
loud clang as I'm climbing up, as a spanner bounces off the foot as I'm on the ladder. Just,
he sort of sees you like as you're climbing. He sort of calls after you. He's like, "I would advise caution. You may do yourself an injury."
yeah, whatever. Carry on.
Plug me in, Voodoo Heavy, and like she open the cockpit's open, so there's like a little port where you can plug in your communicator into the thing, and you just see like it all like lights up like, and like you see Valor appear on different like screens in his thing, and like even those like holographic like projection screens. She's like, yes, interesting, new model, simulated, and she starts like just basically chattering to herself as you're like as you're like watching her like basically download all the data about his like sim battles and stuff, like, and she's just like chuntering like, yes, perfect scores, very nice, that was a great maneuver in that replay, and you see her like watching stuff.
They might be very nice, Val, but perfect scores don't equate to anything out on the battlefield. You know this.
Yes,
you've seen both sides of this.
Yes, and you kind of see her stop, and she goes, is that? And you see him pull off a move that's similar to like somebody else who you've seen do that move, and like it's almost like he's been trained in like your guys' moves and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you suddenly hear like, all call signs, suiting up please, entering hostile space.
Vasily, you better get out of that mech. It's not yours. It's time to suit up, Doc. I hope you're ready for this.
I would already be moving for the ladder when the alarm went. So, rip the communicator out of the deck. Do not do the slide down the ladder thing. It burns your hands. And run for my beast.
I'll sort of say to Carter as I'm moving to him, "You do not have to worry about me, sir. From now on, it is my job to worry about you." And I'll just like embark.
He nods. Carter goes over, and his mecha is this weird sort of. It's like grey painted with like hazard symbols, and then like all those like crash test dummy like symbols all over it because it was supposed to be a prototype, and it's got 3 arms, and one of its arms is like waiting there, and he stands on it, and it lifts him up to his cockpit for him to get in.
Yeah, as Valor's like, I do wish you'd use me for more intricate matters, sir. Like, you don't use me for autopilot, yet you let me lift you into your cockpit. It seems lazy to me, sir. There are stairs. Like,
Killing's a little bit tougher than being an elevator, Val.
Understood, sir. Patching through Commander McGillish, sir. And like you guys start like you put your harnesses on, like McGillish appears on like a hollow screen in the top right corner, and you see him, and you can hear him almost like in stereo, as if he's addressing multiple people at the same time. And he's like, "Course, fire teams, Odin," and he like looks round, and you kind of see him like realize something, and he's like, "Fire teams, Odin and Loki. You're only 2 functioning teams at the minute. I need you to guide us to our destination point. Remember, we have a VIP on board. VIP on board. Do I make myself clear, commanders?"
Sir, yes, sir.
"We are." And he like looks around. And he's like, "Based on our current telemetry and current speed, we are 12 hours from our rendezvous point with the representative. Please make sure that we make it through this hostile territory without issue. If you see any enemies, please Holler on your side. So you guys are going to be ejected from the port side, which is the port is right side of the ship.
Port
So
left.
yeah, port left. Sorry,
4 letters. Port.
port is
I
left. So,
learned this recently.
so port is you're on the left hand side, and Loki are going to be on the starboard side, which is right. So you will be ejected. You kind of feel like your hangars almost like shake a little bit, like the cages your mechs are in shake a little bit, and then as you're literally just dropped into the void of space. Anti-grav like like the weightlessness catches you, and then you activate all your stuff, and you begin to like float out to facilitate into scouting formations for each other. Now, Doc seems to fall in like without problem, but I do need a. So you guys are going to make a 3-pointed triangle. Who's going to be at the front?
I will be at the front as the commander.
Okay. Who's going to be right side?
Yeah.
So Vasilia is right side, and then that leaves Doc on the left. Okay. So switching now to call signs. Switching now to call signs. Do you read? Do you read?
What's our commander's call sign?
McGillish's call sign is overseer, because he's not on the battlefield. When he's on ship, he is overseer. So yeah, he is. So overseer to Viking Harmony. Overseer to Viking Harmony. Can you hear me?
Overseer, this is Viking Harmony. We read you loud and clear.
And then you hear him on the comms to the other commander. Overseer to Red Mischief. Red Mischief, are you there? And you hear like, Red Mischief, here, Overseer. Fireteam Loki ready. And you guys are now scanning for enemies and stuff. So this is going to be our first set of tests for the night.
Oh, load up the dice bot.
A bit of a like almost video game tutorial-esque pop-out box for a second. When you make a test in Mecha Hack, you roll a d20 against the relevant stat, and if you roll underneath your value in that stat, you succeed. However, if you roll over, you do not succeed, and therefore that counts as a failure. A critical success is a 1, unlike normal games or the standard games, and the critical failure is a 20. Okay, so I need systems tests from each member of the Scout Triangle, please. So that is Viking Harmony, Voodoo Heavy, and Dagger Raven. Can you make systems tests for me, please?
Oh, that was high. Fail.
I also fail.
Ooh, 2. I think that's pretty good.
That's a success.
That's 2 under 13.
So as you are scanning, you're about half an hour into this journey, and it's just like there's nothing remarkable about this area. There's no nearby planetoids. Like you've come out the asteroid belt. The problem with this space is that it is just empty space. It's just empty void, no sound, no cover, except for the TCS Union itself, this big giant ship. You're almost like sitting ducks. That's why you've got both sides covered. Vasilia, Voodoo Heavy, your system starts going like haywire as you hear, and Valor like pops up and is like, Voodoo Heavy, please turn 90 degrees right, please.
Why? What's going on? Flipping switches, looking at readouts.
So you see that there is some sort of like energy signature. New energy signature detected in the area. Please be prepared. Seems to be emerging, and you just hear, and you just hear over the comlink as Fireteam Loki seem to get decimated by something really quickly. You're like, hey, from nowhere!
I'll call this. Overseer Voodoo Heavy. New contact on radar.
Which side? Which side? Which side? Voodoo Heavy.
Which
you
way
got
did Val?
visual Viking harmony.
Which way did Val instruct me to go?
So they'd be on the starboard side. Starboard side, 90 degrees
Ah,
right.
starboard side.
So 3 o'clock for the ship.
Yes, but that analogy doesn't work in space.
Yeah, but it's in like 3 o'clock on the ship because if the ship's forward is 12, 3. So it's that side. Yeah. So starboard. So starboard side, you hear, Viking harmony. Can you get me a visual, please? Viking harmony.
Right, yeah, I'll maneuver around the ship. Are we like hanging onto the ship, or are we like?
No, you're like
jetting
floating
We're under
you
our
can
own
jet.
power, right?
Yeah, you've got your own power. You can fly.
All right, I'll thrust her over the top of the ship to see if I can see anything.
So you thrust her over the ship. Can I get please because they're still pretty far out. Can I get a kind of like I would say this is another systems test, please, because you're trying to see and you're trying to like zoom in on them, whilst the other two.
Oh, that'll be a success.
So it's you like pull up your screen, you like zoom in on location. You can just see what looks to be like one mech that's been completely ripped apart on the starboard side from Fireteam Loki, and on the you can see like the almost like the energy trails, one red that's like clashing with another one, but you can quite blatantly see that the red energy trail is just decimating the other one. Like every time it hits, it knocks the other energy trail back like 15-20 feet, and then 15-20 meters, and then and just keeps battering them backwards almost until they're almost out of your scope range. They're literally just harrying them, and you hear like somebody like help, like I can't shake him, and you said as like more and more like static comes across the line as you check the vitals for Fireteam Loki. There are only 2 of them left all of a sudden.
Okay, can we still hail them on comms?
You can hail them on comms if you would like to, yes.
Guide them back towards the ship. I have an idea.
I don't know about you, but you've not fucking. And he's like, fine. And like you hear like a woman like, bring him this way. And you hear as like she obviously fires at this thing to try and get its attention, whatever it is. So how are you going to prepare? Because they are slowly. If I quickly roll on the dice bot, their attack.
So I'm gonna go sort of behind the ship, so it's getting away from me, and then like sort of towards them. So if they're coming towards the ship, I want to hit them on the flank.
She hits. Yep. So you're trying to get behind the ship, did you say? And then
So basically, I want to swing round so I hit these guys in the side as they're coming towards.
What do you want your teammates to do? You can communicate with your teammates.
I'm going to tell them that that's my plan. I don't know. What's Dagger Raven's specialty?
He's an auxiliary.
Auxiliary.
So he's a support character basically. So
support character. So I want like a reverse, the reverse of the formation we were just on. So I want you behind me, and then next to me, I want Voodoo Heavy as sort of like a reverse triangle formation.
Yeah.
So you would like swing around and then be able to like shoot at whatever's chasing Fireteam Loki.
So Fireteam Loki, you do notice that their commander Red Mischief is dead. So as is Small Wolf, their support. The 2 that are left are Nimble Jester and Crazy Harlequin. So Crazy Harlequin and Nimble Jester, you can like see them. They appear as like target reticles that are green to signify allies, and they're like coming, and you can see behind them this massive like hulking red shape.
Are we within range of this thing?
You are. This is distant range so far. They're trying to bring it within. They're trying to bring it within far range. So if you look on your character sheets, right next to you is close. 1 movement away from you is near. 2 movements is far, and 3 is distant. So you are.
So I want to swing us around so we eventually get into mid. So I'm going to tell I'm basically gonna shout over the comms like we already basically have like call signs for all the maneuvers we do. So it's gonna be like I want a right horn, reverse arrow formation, and that's like swing round, hit him in the side with 2 people,
Roger.
one person at the back.
Okay, so how initiative works in this game is you need to roll either system, depending on which one is higher. You can roll either system or you can roll mobility. Okay. If you roll under your mobility, you go before enemies. If you roll higher than your mobility or your system, you go after enemies. And you can decide within yourselves who goes first and whatnot on either side. So I need tests of mobility, please, as you see this guy come into range.
I got 14 rolling under 12.
So you fail, so you go after enemies.
I succeed.
Oh, I fail as well.
So the only one who goes before enemies is Viking Harmony. So before enemies, Viking Harmony, and then after Voodoo and Dagger. All right. So as they like come into view, you see Crazy Harlequin and Nimble Jester like firing back at this like huge red mecha with multiple arms, multiple legs, almost like translucent wings out the back of it, and almost like a drill nose. You hear Valor come over the screen on your comms as like mecha frame striker identified, call sign red mosquito, pilot unknown, and you kind of hear like somebody go, ha 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 ha! Look what I found! I went fishing, and look what I found! Come here, little Terrans! Like, and he's like chasing them. You go first, though, Ben. So, what would you like to do? He would be just coming into far range.
Presumably, my beam rifle can hit that. It's light range weapon. So,
yep, it can hit far range.
Cool. I'm gonna have my shield in my third arm, and then get out my beam rifle, and I'm going to try and shoot him in the wings.
So can you roll power for me then, please?
Oh, you know what, Addison? Because you are so lovely, I can roll that for you. 16, which is under my power.
Yep, so you hit. So roll damage for your beam rifle. So it's your damage for your chassis in total. Yeah. So whatever your damage die for your chassis is. I think it's a D8.
It's a D8 for me. It's a 2.
2. So you clip.
I just wing him then, right?
Yeah, you clip him, and you hear somebody like turn around, like almost like, "What the hell is that?" And he then you watch as he's going to use his movement to catch up with one of the others. They're going to try and roll to dodge. Unfortunately, there is going to be a lot of dice action in this. I'm sorry.
Have they got a turn?
They do have a turn. They go after enemies. Sorry, I forgot to put that in the chat.
Right. So can I give them a battle tactic?
Yep, you can. Yep, sure.
Can I get them to move with an extra? Can I choose those mechas? Wait. So are they near to us?
No, they're far.
Not do that because I cannot. Never mind.
They're far because he's just coming into far range. He's like close to them. They're like firing like point blank at him to get him off or get them off, whoever that is in this giant like hulking thing. So you literally see this guy get winged. Look, like his mecha like looks towards you, and it looks at Nimble Jester who's in front of him, and just plunges this nose like beak into this thing. 1d20 into this mech in front of you. Oh, he rolls a 2. So that is his beam sword, technically, which is a D8.
You'll be really glad to hear that you were just called adorable on stream because of your tie.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So that's 4 damage. As this guy who's already taken quite a lot of damage, you see this this drill just like straight through into this the chest of this mech in front of him. And you just see it like let go of all its weapons because you see the basically the power core goes out as it is out because like you, they are not they are not very powerful, and they'd already taken a lot of damage when this guy ambushed them. Then he's going to take his other action, because he gets 3 actions technically, to attack again. So 1d20 on the, and he's going to. You watch him like look at you, Ben. You are far. Can he do far targets? No, he can't. He can't. No, so he can't. So he's just going to, again, like drill into this next guy who's next to the. Oh yeah, so gets him again. 1d8, and again for this one's not taken as much damage, but he's managed to like sever one of its arms off, and it's like floating next to it, and you see him like trying to reach. You guys get to, the NPCs will always go after you, so you two can decide what you want to do in between. You've just seen Viking Harmony take a shot, wing this guy, and he's just ignored him and just went and decimated one mech from Fireteam Loki, and he's harrying the other. What would you guys like to do? Who's going first?
It's roll under your power to make an attack, right?
Yeah, you have to be in range. What are you using?
What range? What is range on things?
So, if you've got a gun,
yeah.
So like most rifles go near to far. There's not a lot of weapons that go distant. He's far range.
Don't have a list of range on my thing. Why haven't I got a list of range?
It should be on the second sheet of your character sheet.
No, I've got what weapons I've got. I just don't have a range listed for them. I must have missed that.
Just means they're near far if they're a rifle.
Yeah.
Unless
if they're a rifle.
Yeah, beam cannon. So.
Beam cannon. I think beam cannon can go to distant. Let me just check that.
Either way, he's at far, so I don't wait around to figure out tactics, and I just shoot at him.
Okay.
20. It's got +2 to attack and damage. I'm assuming that's this roll.
Yes, it will be your damage die. Hang on, let me find the because it's a heavy weapon. Yes, so it's +2 to attack and damage. So if you need +2 to this, so the +2 might make you go over, but if you hit, you'll get the +2 to damage.
Wait, so it's a bad thing then, +2?
It's a bad thing for your attack roll, but for your damage, it's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
Also,
it's
thanks
like
for the follow, Matt.
Well, I miss. So,
it's not a 20 on the dice, so you've not done anything bad. You just hear as you like try to fire. You can attack it.
Missed.
I know.
Rolling under 17.
I know, but I know you miss, but because it's not a 20 on the dice, there's no like malfunction because that's a critical failure.
Right. Sorry. Volume.
Yeah. So you fire and go wide, and again it looks at you. You've got another action because you can take 2 actions in a round.
I'm assuming movement is an action.
Movement is an action, yes.
And you pile towards him.
Okay, so that takes him within near distance to you now. So he's 1 movement away. If you move again next round, you'll be close to him. Doc, what are you doing?
So Dagger Raven is going to move for his first action. He's going to move up to, so he's still within close with Voodoo Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to use one of his abilities, which is Reinforce.
Mm-hmm.
So Voodoo Heavy, you hear over the comms from Dagger Raven, Voodoo Heavy, stand by for assistance. And then you, like, what you see around you is like all of your gauges, essentially, like the levels seem to increase slightly. So you seem to, like, your systems seem to be running at slightly better than they were before. Mechanically, what this means is you have a D6 that you can roll, and then you can subtract that number from a attack test or reduced damage roll.
Ah, okay.
You don't have to roll it, but you've got a D6 that you can just choose to roll.
So that's for attack roll.
For an attack roll, or a test, or any type of roll, basically.
Okay. So you then hear the other guy who's because that would be both your actions. You hear the other guy, the one left, Crazy Harlequin, who's like, please don't kill me. And you just hear the guy like, no, you've got to die. This is what happens. You chose the wrong side. And you just hear this girl like crying because something's like scaring her. Like this guy's like scaring her, so she's going to attack. Roll d20 and see if she can hit him with her beams. Well, her sword, her vibro blade. 1d20. She does hit, so she rolls 1d8. And she gets an 8 as well. So you just see, out of pure desperation, she's like, douche, 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 and you see him like, as it like digs into his shoulder, which is like this bulbous round. You notice that a lot of this mech is like almost insectoid. It's all exoskeleton, like bulbous and circular and spherical, where almost like a mosquito would be, rather than like yours, which are more humanoid. You can see like forearms that it's got with weapons in. You can see one of my screens has died. You can see it's got weapons in each hand, so it's just like and he's done. So that is now your turn, Voodoo.
Sorry to interrupt, Edison. What I should have done that I forgot to do is I should have rolled my reactor die when I did reinforce. So I'm just going to do that.
Okay, if you could please.
It's 2, so it drops.
Yeah, so it drops.
No, it doesn't, because I have an ability for that.
Oh yeah, that's true. 1 second.
So
What's your ability called?
Question. It says I have to use an action to use this ability, but reinforce was my second action that I took. So I can't.
So you have 2 actions per round.
So my second action was reinforce, so I can't then use an action to stop it from dropping.
Yeah, and move is an action, and also as well, it has to be on your turn to do something unless it states otherwise.
Yeah.
So, so it would downgrade to the next one down, which is a D6 for you. Yeah. So just so people on the stream are aware, when you use certain abilities, you have to roll your reactor die, which is basically you're almost like an overheating die. And every time you roll a 1 or a 2, it goes down to the next level. So they started on a D8, now it's on a D6, and if it goes down to a D4, they'll overheat. So they need to be careful. They can't just go around using their stuff willy-nilly. And you can kind of see like Dagger Raven's auxiliary mech is like glowing red in certain parts as it's like beaming this green supportive energy to Voodoo Heavy. That takes us to you, Viking Harmony. What would you like to do? He's far from you, so it would take 2 move actions to get close to him, or you can just fire at him.
I'm gonna take 1 action to move towards him. Hailing him on comms isn't an action, right?
No, that's a free action. You can do that.
I'm gonna hail him on comms and say, "Hey, look at this," and then take another shot at him to hopefully so he like turn around and get like domed.
Okay, roll power. See if you hit.
That's a hit.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
I'm guessing based on this is whether he actually turned around. If it's high, I guess he turned around.
Yeah.
It's low.
Oh. So you like graze him again, and he's too busy trying to remove this. He's too busy trying to remove this sword from his mech shoulder. That he's like, "Wait your turn! I'll get to you!" Like, and he's just like livid that this almost like peasant woman has managed to like damage his precious mech. That takes it to his turn, so he's gonna decimate this poor girl. So she's got a roll for her mobility. So let's roll mobility, please. Where's the dice tray? Here we go. 1d20. She passes. So you see he's still got his like nose jabbed into this mech, and he's still trying to like rip his way through it, but it doesn't work. So he's going to attack again. She has to roll thing again. He doesn't have to take reactor damage because this is part of his stat. She dodges again, and he gets really annoyed. So he like moves round the back of her to try and he like removes his this drill and like comes around the back of her. And he's like, "God damn it! Why don't you just die?" Like so that takes us to after the enemy. So can Dagger Raven and Voodoo Heavy tell me which order they would like to act in?
Do
Same as
you
last time, I
have
guess.
anything you'd like to do before I pile into this thing?
No.
Cool.
Go
I basically want to try and dump tackle this thing away from what was the name of this one? Harlequin.
Crazy Harlequin.
Crazy Harlequin. I want to try and physically slam into this
That
unknown.
would test
and-
power for me, please.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
I
hear
want to
Dagger Raven.
slam into him and hopefully move them away like one, so that the Crazy Harlequin has got some time to react.
When you slam in, you just hear over the comms, maybe you should do that psychological eval.
And again, you hear as in an almost echo from an earlier encounter. I would advise caution.
That was a 7. I'll just say as it's coming in, Kiwi, wham.
You just hear what the and he is shoved. You can do that. I'll say that does damage because you're so much bigger than his one is. Even though his is like hench and swole, it's not actually big.
Glass cannon.
Yeah. So like you damage as you
damage
shove.
we do?
So for your mech, your damage die, I believe, is a D8.
Oh, D8. Yeah, sorry. I was looking for per weapon stats for some reason. Doing.
No, I'll just say that this is like you're doing it with your greatsword. You're hitting him with your greatsword, so it's fine.
Let's see if the bot will take a plus for 2 dice. So 8 all in all.
Okay.
I'll chuck down the extra dice you've given me.
Okay, so yeah, that's how much?
8.
Well, technically, you roll the dice and then you minus it from the attack roll, not the damage roll.
Oh,
Okay.
doesn't work like that. Yeah, okay, ignore me then. 3.
3. So minus 3 damage as you with this great sword straight into its side, and you hear them. That takes us to Dagger Raven. What would you like to do?
So presumably they are entangled at the minute. Like,
Yeah, so he's like in close combat with it. You can imagine like he's almost like brought this great sword down on him to like push him away, and this guy's like got all 4 of his mech's arms trying to like stop this thing from falling on him. He's like, fuck!
okay,
You just hear, fucking get now! Like,
cool. So, am I? How far away am I at the minute?
you are. So if he was, he's gone into close because he was near. He's knocked him away, so you would be. He would be far from you because he went from near to close and then hit it further.
Okay. So, I'm wondering if a ranged attack would actually would I potentially damage Voodoo Heavy if I was to fire at him currently if they're entangled, or
If you
if
miss
I
that,
aim enough, like if I miss badly.
Yeah.
Okay.
so we say if
Do
you so what's your power score?
Can I just say quickly, I love you, James. Yes, I am going to do it. But yeah, my power score is 17.
17. So if you hit over 2, you will hit James. So if you get 19 or above, you will hit James.
You're not
Okay.
there swerving the back of a swerving
So it's a
car,
+2. It's a +2 as well, so I have to roll under 19. Is that how that works? If it's a
No,
I
you
have
have to-
what I roll.
Yeah, you add +2 to what you roll. So you have
Okay.
to roll under 17 still. But if you get 19, you'll hit James instead.
This has always been very unlucky for us. I think every time we've
So
had
yeah,
if you roll badly, you'll hit the other person. You hit the other person. Because Addison hit Sean like agents.
Go, roll.
so I think so again, what Voodoo Heavy sort of hears over the comms is like, well, if we're not erring on the side of caution and recklessness is the way forward, and you just hear like over the comms, you hear the firing of a scattergun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fire. I'm going to target the man, like this, whoever this man is, with my scattergun, and that's a D20, and then I +2 to whatever I roll. That's a 1.
Nice.
So that's a crit. So you get to double damage. So roll damage and double.
Even with the +2, that was I guess it's a crit because it's a roll to 1, isn't it? So
Yeah. So you
So I
crit.
double my. So I roll 2 damage dice,
Yeah.
or do I roll 1 and then double the number?
No, roll 2 dice.
It's a 4 to 6.
So that's 10 in total. Oh, you almost like rip off one of the pauldrons of this red mosquito, and you see on your on your monitor, Doc, this this figure in almost like a shirtless flight suit, gold band choker, goatee, red messy hair, but pointed like elf ears. But his eyes are black instead of white, with blood red pupils. I'm going to put a image of him in the reference images, so you get that.
I have a question.
What's that?
Is a shirtless flight suit a pair of trousers?
No, so sleeveless. Sorry, I've messed up. That's my
That's all right.
bad.
I'm sure I
That's
heard
right.
shirtless, even if you said sleeveless.
No, it was just shirtless, as in like it's still got the arms of the flight suit. It's just not
Yeah.
the torso.
That's better. I like that better.
Yeah. So the red mosquito pilot appears on your he finally hails you with video. He's like, "What are you doing to my mech?" And he now beams at you.
I'm gonna flick back at him, turning it into scrap.
Yeah, and he's going to.
Do I go before him?
You've already went, didn't you?
No,
No, it's
Jordan Daggerraven has just blown an arm off with a shotgun.
Yeah. So we've got Crazy Harlequin still to go, and then you would go before next. So Crazy Harlequin is going to attack him, but this guy is going to roll mobility to miss. Mobility
Does the fact that he's grappled with a sword give him any?
does give him disadvantage. So I take 2 d20s and take the highest roll. Yeah, shit. He the damage to his
That was
arm.
beautiful.
The damage to his arm means that he can't. One of his arms is stuck to the sword. The hand's not responding, and you hear him kind of over the comms "Fuck, move!" And he's getting really angry. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you all!" So that takes us to Viking Harmony.
Cool. I'm gonna shoot. Wait, I can get in close quarters now, right?
Yeah, because he's technically near to you because you got near. So
Now,
you could get close quarters. Yeah.
grapple isn't technically a thing that you can do in this game, right?
You can, but it's a power test. It's like if you were attacking with a melee weapon.
I've got 3 arms. Can I grab him and then with my third arm be stabbing with a sword? Because I have 3 arms.
Technically, 2 actions.
Technically,
right?
doesn't your third arm allow you to attack with a use action?
I can wield
What's
one
your
additional
third
hand's worth of items. Heavy weapons. Something about heavy weapons.
I will say that it will look like that. It would look cool like that, but it's just one check.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
one power test.
I can do
Because that's fucking cool. So
14. That's way under my power. Yeah.
So you get in close. You move to get into close range. You almost do the stealth kill thing where you get behind him, use your third arm to go over his mech's face area, making sure that the drill bit goes between some fingers, and then just a stab down into his stomach to see if you can hit the cockpit. Can you please roll damage?
6.
10, 14. Right. As you watch as Voodoo Heavy's got him, the scattergun goes off. Harlequin gets tries to get a shot in, but misses, and then you just come in how do you want to finish him off, Ben?
I want to stab directly into the cockpit, and I want him to still be on comms with Daggerraven. As you see, my I think, what kind of sword is this?
I think because yours
beam
is a
sword.
Vanguard, I think it's a beam sword.
Yeah, so you see just the light of the beam sword, and then the camera shot is, we see this, and then we see me about to stab, and then we see the Daggerraven comm screen, and you see just a big flash of light, and then open space, on the comm screen before it cuts off. Yeah,
you literally just stab a hole in this mech, leaving a burned through hole. You saw him, Doc Daggerraven, as he's wrestling with his controls. He's like, "No, I'm Unstus of the Aeons. No, not like this."
Not anymore.
like the back gets blown out and this mech just floats lifelessly, and you look at the wreckage of your other comrades who were decimated by this guy, and the three of you managing to swing round from the side, and you hear Overseer like, because for some reason you can hear like Overseer like, guys, are you there? Can anybody read me? Like, is
Lulu,
anyone
have
still
you coming in loud and clear?
there? God damn it! I need you to fill in that psych evaluation. We lost you for a second there. What the hell happened?
Tango down.
Can I make a system check to do a psych evaluation on?
Yeah, like, and he's like, God damn it, Connor! I thought I'd lost you there. Where's Fireteam Loki? Why can't I get any of them?
Fireteam Loki sustained heavy casualties. They've only got one survivor.
God damn it! You hear like him like throw something like angrily.
Mr. Flippy Table.
Yeah.
Can you send recovery teams for their bodies?
It's gonna put some delays on, but yeah, we never leave good men and women behind. Let's get them out there. I want those recovered yesterday. Get those mechs back in here, even if they're scrap.
So really quickly on a side channel to Voodoo, I just go, unless it's our fucking people, and then like just click off that side channel to Voodoo.
Yikes. I will take the mech that I am trying to stab by the sort of scruff of the neck and drag it back to the ship.
Yeah, you
speeding up recovery. The recovery guy's going the other way.
Yeah, like you watch as this Colossus just like grabs onto this like weird like almost you grab onto like these wings, because you notice that the wings, you thought they were like jet streams, but they're not. They're like thin membranes that you like grab.
Yeah, so I'll grab in between them so as not to damage them. I want to have a look at this.
Yeah.
So... I should also probably describe the Colossus a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's not perhaps the most elegant modern mech in terms of agility and mobility, but it is big and solid and well built. Think more sort of the 40k Titan type build than, say, some sort of dexterous Gundam type thing.
Yeah.
It's not a complete, solid. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not a immobile, like old school robot. It is dexterous, but it's an older model.
It's lots. It's very spherical. Like if you look at the image, it's like very spherical.
Yeah.
Like, everybody else is like, and yours is like
solid
lumbering. Yeah. So yeah, you bring that in. You guys come in. You redock. You hear people like can't. Incoming mechas, please stand by. Mechanics on the ready. And you hear like people. It's almost like the pit stop lanes in Formula One, as people are just there waiting in like spacesuits with like helmets on, so they don't get like because obviously the airlocks are open and stuff to let you guys back in. Then when the airlocks close, like you're not even out the cockpits, like you and like as they're like there, like changing shit.
I would drag this thing down to my mech bay and be on it straight away looking at it.
Yeah. So you'd have to put it in Cider's old cage, who's your other teammate who you lost. You'd have to put it in there because it's a full mech that needs its own housing. Even though you've blown like the core out of it and the pilot and the
it's more a case of I don't know how big the mech bays are, or whether they're like a sort of niche in the wall for a mech, or whether they're like a big bit of hangar or whatever. So.
They're like a big bit of hangar. So like there's like a cage around it, and like multiple platforms so people can get to different parts of your mech if they need to. And,
okay.
Like, you recharge cables, like massive recharge cables that go into the back of your mechs and stuff. So
in that case, I put it in the empty cage. I wouldn't bother parking properly. I'd just get out, go and have a look at it.
You see people like, oh, Facility, come on!
Just leave it running with the keys in and have a look.
How are we gonna repair it? Like you see like your poor thing, and then you hear Valor on the comms like, don't worry, I will fix it. And you see your mech kind of start going and like walking backwards slowly as it like puts it in, and it's just like, we do really need that psych evaluation. And then you hear them like, and you hear them
in the post now.
like as they're all like dark.
Carter very angrily gets out of his harness, walks by, and the first bit of reading material he finds that he can like scrunch up into a little like baton, he grabs, goes over to Dagger Raven's mech bay where he's like unloading, and just like claps him on the back of the head with it. You fire a scattergun at our team members again, I'll have you sent back for parts. Other than that, excellent first mission.
I simply followed the example that my teammate set, sir.
Yeah, don't follow her example.
You see,
Noted
like,
for future reference. Thank you, sir.
some poor mechanic who's like got you like unscrunch your thing and it's literally your loadout. Like it's somebody who's like literally there like with your checklist like can I have that back please, sir?
Yeah, I like try and unscramble it a little.
I've got a picture in my head of the
There you
Simpsons
go.
teenager that works at the burger joint with the voice that goes up and down. Can I have that back, please, sir?
Whilst you're standing in front of Dagger Raven, he sort of like looks around the hangar. Like you can see him like looking at the mechanics doing the work and looking at the work on his own mech. And he sort of looks at you and he says, "Sir, I'm not used to this. How is the best way to describe this sort of aftermath, cleanup? It's not something I'm accustomed to from the simulations."
Well, lucky for you, that's why we have these wonderful people. And then I hand him back the report. Sorry about that, kid.
Thank you.
You do. I nod at the sort of mechanic and I go, "I'm told you do good work."
He like looks at you and he like squints at you and then he realizes what your eyes look like and he's like, "Fuck! I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I will forget I saw anything. I promise. Just please don't kill me. Please don't terminate me."
Kid, run along.
Okay. And he like disappears, and you hear like from the outside of your hangar bay, you hear, "We've got survivors! Like, crank over those pits!" Like you can hear people like welding and like sawing out the some of the other Loki members who were not so lucky as you.
Are there welding goggles kicking about?
Yes, there are.
I pick those up and hand them to Dagger Raven, and I'm like, "You don't need ears for these, kid." And I'd like hand them and then go see who the survivors are.
"These will do nicely, sir." And I like put them on.
You've got like these ridiculous like massive goggles that are giving you like readouts for like temperature and stuff. Like, we're in a sci-fi universe, so even though you use paper, it's kind of like, what the fuck? Like you've got these goggles that literally tell you the temperature of the room.
I look with this new information. I look over at Vasily.
Yeah.
What's her temperature reading right now?
She's very hot because she's hot and flustered as she's like running around. Like it's kind of like semi-gravity here, so if you decided to walk, you can walk because of the fact that you're going to drop out of here. So she's like somewhat floating as well. Every now and then she like kicks off, and there's less gravity.
Hopping around in between bits of this mech, having a look at it, opening panels, looking at things, examining it.
You find like the dude's legs because it cut him off at the stomach area, so like his legs are still in the thing, like in the mech. Like it's like you see like one of the mechanics is like looking at it and he's like, what do you want us to do, miss?
I take one of the legs and lean out of the hole. "Hey Carter, good shot," and throw it down to you.
Like he's like throwing up next to you as you do that.
I call up like Valor, and I'm just like, "Actually, remind of the psyche, Val."
Reinstating your subroutine, sir. I knew you'd ask me. Like, and she's like nodding, like.
She certainly is an interesting specimen, sir.
I heard that.
Yeah,
he's sort of like
I take my comlink out.
He says it in the same tone of voice, but at like 30% volume. "She is an interesting specimen, sir."
Yeah.
So you wanted to check out the survivors. So you do see the commander of Fireteam Loki, Red Mischief, is okay. Well, if you count being severely like crushed, like there's obvious like trauma to his arm where you can see bones coming out of where like his mech's cockpit is like crushed up against his arm. You can see that the other two were like, even though they thought they'd survived, they pulled them out and they're dead. And you can see like crazy Harlequin's been wrapped up in like a foil blanket and is like being like looked after by like this. He stands out here because he's like this bold old man with like no hair, like shiny dome, the shiniest dome you've ever seen, and like just like this white beard, like really gentle looking features, massive round glasses, green waistcoat, a yellow shirt. He just looks like he should be
flight
here.
deck operator guy.
There's one way to find out.
I mean, I'm still examining a mech, so
Yeah.
if someone wants to go and see what Master Uguay wants.
I'm gonna walk up to Mischief. So, that went well.
Like, and he's like, it went well. What is your fucking problem? Like, he's like holding onto his arm that's like crushed. Like, they might have to take this fucking off. Like,
I blink because I've got one robot eye, and I just go, yeah, but the deck crew love these things, bro.
And he like looks at you and he's like, "You guys are fucking Odin are crazy." Like fucking like, and he's like really like messed up by it. Like, he's not quite 1,000 yards staring yet, but once the pain's gone, then maybe he might be a bit less talkative because he's lost three of his friends because there was 5 of them, and only him and Harlequin made it out.
I fish out a little like a hip flask thing, unscrew it, take a swig, and then offer the whole hip flask to him.
He's like, "Thank fucking God! I thought nobody had any of this." And he like takes it, and it's like, I'm guessing it's like strong shit. Like,
yeah, it's called Aldrich Reserve.
Yeah,
Nice.
Booker Brewery.
Booker Brewery, Aldrich Reserve.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's canon
tequila.
now. It's canon now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, he takes it. And he's like, "Oh, I genuinely thought I was gonna have to do this mission dry." Like, and he's like really, he's like got like slick back black hair, wearing pretty much the same thing as you. Really like large, like angular nose, very pale. But then there's this old man still talking to crazy Harlequin, who you realise now is not quite as young as Vasilla, but a young woman, blonde, like pigtails, almost like Harley Quinn-esque pigtails, but none of the hair color in them. Just like and you do notice that some of their flight suits have like jester-esque thing. Like you're not supposed to edit your flight suits, but these guys obviously have to fit in with the theme of like Loki and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go walk to her, but before I leave, I lean into the guy and I'm like, when they offer you chrome or gold plated, go for gold plated. And then I like walk away from him and leave him with the hip.
You just see him. He doesn't even stop drinking as he looks at you, and he nods as he's drinking. Like he's trying to like fight back tears because he knows that if he does this in front of you, like you're probably never gonna let it go. So he's like, like. So yeah, you hear, and you begin to hear like the old man speaking to the girl, and he's like, "Oh, yes, you did a fantastic job. That was a great hit. I saw you land. You should be very proud of yourself." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I guess. It's just it was my side that he attacked, and maybe if I'd have spotted him, then I could have saved the others." And it's like, "There's nothing you can do, child. It's fine. It's fine." Like, and he's like trying to comfort her, basically.
So do I know who this guy is?
As you get closer to him, yes, you do. That is a man called Prime Minister Shah. He is
This is
Prime
VIP.
Minister Shah, he is VIP. He is the leader of the entire Terran Collective. You didn't know. You knew that the VIP was important. You didn't know it was this important.
At that realization, I'm a little bit confused on what to call him rank wise. And I half Terran salute. I'm like, sir.
Ah, yes, the Odin team commander. It's lovely to meet you. I'm President Shah, Prime Minister Shah. I thought I'd come and see how if anybody needed my help. I used to be a doctor, you know. He adjusts his glasses and checks you over, and he's like, "Oh, hardly a scratch on you. Well done, sir."
I got my fair share of wounds, sir.
Oh yes, yes.
Please don't take this the wrong way, sir, but it would be more appropriate for you to be in the med bay. It's not exactly safe out here.
No, yeah, but... and you see him. He's kind of doddery, oh yeah, I suppose yes. I just thought I'd make sure that everyone was okay. And he kind of puts his hands behind his back and stands there looking at you. He's like, I'd love to meet the rest of your team. They were almost like a well-oiled machine, youngs. They're a great reflection of you and your commanding.
Sir, and Carter thinks for a second. He's like, yes, sir. And as he does that, he very slyly hails Valor on comms, and is like, which is the cleanest bay?
And you hear Valor what do you mean?
Which is the cleanest bay? And I'm trying to walk slightly in front of the Prime Minister.
Are we talking blood? Because Vasilis is covered in blood right now because of that leg. Or are we talking grease? Are we talking least people?
Surely that leg would have been cauterized because it was like a beam sword.
But even if you do that, if you cauterize that and then you throw it from the height that you threw it, it's gonna break. Yeah.
Which has the least amount of everything in.
Well, and she looks around, and you do see that it's chaotic. You've had two pretty intense battles back to back, and she's like, Dagger Raven's cage is pretty nice and tidy. I really appreciate that. He does such great work.
Listen, Val. Call the rest of the team. Tell him to look presentable. And my God, if Dagger isn't wearing something on his fucking eyes. And then I just turn off the comms, and then I'm like, this way, sir. This way, please.
And he's like, oh yes, is that your virtual assistant that you were talking to? Because you notice as you turn around, he's there, looking at you. Is that your virtual assistant?
Yes,
he
sir.
somehow snuck up on you, which is really disconcerting.
Yes, sir. That's Val. Sorry. Val. Sir.
Oh. Okay. Lead the way, and you see Valor. We go smash cut to the thing where you basically get Valor goes message from the commander to both of you, wherever you are, and you just hear him repeat that. She repeats that soundbite, they better look fucking presentable, and if he's not wearing anything over his eyes, sort of thing.
I listen to third the message, turn it off, and carry on walking. I was gonna put the other leg in the disposal unit, but I just detour with the leg.
Yeah. Yeah. You just kind of put it behind a shelf.
No, I just hold on to it and walk over and see what he wants. I only listen to the beginning, opening sentence or two, and I was like, okay, click, go and see.
And yeah, he comes in, and you see him come in, and you see him with this old doddery old man behind him, who looks just enamored by this whole experience. He's like, is that the mech that did all this? Just one mech, and he adjusts his glasses to squint at it a little bit.
Which mech is he squinting at?
He's squinting at the mosquito mech.
That is the tango, sir.
Very much so. And who are these two? And he like points at
My crew.
the two crew. Yeah.
Are you holding a leg?
Yeah.
You see, Carter usually walks.
It's gonna get better in a second too.
Carter usually walks quite at attention and he's quite proper for a commander. And then as soon as he sees that, you just see him go.
Sir,
sorry. Can you give me 1 second? With
enamored by the fact that the president of the Terran Collective is standing in front of us. I'm Vasilia Fastlov. I hold out the arm with the leg, so he's got the stump of the leg pointing to him, and then offer a hand instead.
And he looks at you for a second. He takes the hand that you offer out, and he's like, "Is that a leg?"
Yeah, it was the pilot. It was from the pilot of the mosquito over there. It's what was left. I was just on my way to put it in the disposal.
Is the Prime Minister a little bit in front of me?
Yeah.
So I guess you've seen this a lot, but we've got a minor court-martial form that I fill out that's bright pink, and I just hold it up behind the Prime Minister.
I carry on doing the shaky meet and greet thing.
So without even looking at you, just to make you aware, Carter. So without even looking at you, the Prime Minister puts his hand up. He's like, "There's no need for that." And he waves you away, and he goes, "I've always wondered what makes these Aeon these primacy folk tick. I wonder, they're so warped and weird. Do you think they have the same amount of toes?" And he goes round the back and starts trying to take the boot off.
I would just offer it to him if he really wanted to see it. If he was
no. I just if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen today. Who's your other friend? He goes towards Dagger Raven with his fucking goggles on. He's like, "Are you a welder?"
No. So I sort of look him up and down for a second. I'm like, "You are designation Shah, leader of the collective. My name is Dagger Raven. You may call me Doc."
I used to be a doctor. Did you know?
I did, sir. I have extensive databases.
Oh, well, I suppose you do. Oh, I didn't realise that you were synthetic. Should have noticed with the lack of. He points at his ears. Is that a sensitive subject?
No subject is sensitive for me, sir.
Ah. So what's with the goggles? And he starts poking at your goggles.
I pipe up from behind you. I did say he should get some ears when he first arrived. And I'm there unbooting a boot.
I sort of slowly move my hand up to the goggles and wait for Carter to say anything.
Carter just looks so resigned.
He just sort of slowly lifts them up.
Oh, you have the battle contacts. Interesting. I see. He adjusts his glasses and squints at you.
That is what I was designed for, sir.
Well, excellent mission. I assume you were the auxiliary. That was a great shot with that scattergun, I must admit.
I simply followed my unit's example, sir.
And we will need plenty more of your bravery soon. In fact, says I think you'll do actually with a team Azir out. I think we could use you. To fire team Odin. So be prepared. I'll be calling on you shortly. And he turns to go and puts his hand on your shoulder, Carter, and he's like, "Fine unit you've got here, son. Well done."
As he's saying this, and I assume he's about to walk away.
Yeah, he's got his back turned to you.
I pipe up. Do they or don't they have the same amount of toes?
They do have the same amount of toes, but you do notice that their feet are the arches of their feet are a bit more
deeper.
Yeah. Almost like they could jump higher because of it.
All right. Well, I'll just say, as he's sort of turning to go, I'll say, no, they have the same number of toes and hold it up, but their feet are weird.
Hmm. Peculiar. Quite peculiar. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my lady. It's been a very nice meeting you. I look forward to traveling with you in the future, Commander Carter, Lady Facilia, Doc. Was it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Designation Dagger Raven, if you want to be formal.
No need for that, is there? But you three will be useful at the negotiation. So, be ready to roll out at the rendezvous point for me, would you? I'll go and inform McGillish about the arrangements. You shall be my guards for the ceremony or the signing.
What are we negotiating?
Oh.
I'm still stood here with a leg and a boot.
At that point, I just go, mission brief.
Well, admittedly, the mission briefs are somewhat vague due to the nature, but we are currently on rendezvous to meet the TCS, so Terran Collective Ship, the TCS Brotherhood, as we are currently, and once the Union and the Brotherhood meet up, we are able to rendezvous on a small planet, Toyd, and meet a representative from the Neo Dominion, and we are going to negotiate a ceasefire. I suppose is the word we would look for in order to combat more pressing threats.
That's annoying, sir. I was beginning to enjoy shooting at them.
Trust me, the Dominion have probably enjoyed shooting at you too, and waving those fancy lances about at you. So, yes, I would just be aware that. And he points at the mosquito now, and he's like, one of those things just decimated a whole fire team.
Not my fire team, sir.
But 2, 3.
They're not.
There's a whole army of those out there, and you see for the first time he's been this like doddery old man, but this is the first time you've seen him like activate almost like, and you see like the wheels are continuously turning, and he's serious, and he's like, I don't like it. Like, I don't want it. So they go first. And he's like dead serious. They go first. And then we'll deal with the ponces in the armor later.
Sir, you seem on edge. This alliance, it's all on the up and up, right? This isn't going to be some kind of desperate alliance.
He said the thing. And he's like, he looks and he's like, desperate times, desperate measures, the enemy of my enemy. Thousands and thousands of quotes, young sir. But yes, pretty much. And this is why we need men like you and women like you to help with the situation. Miss Vasily, I want a full breakdown of that monstrosity, please, once you're done. And if you can get it up and running, that would be fantastic. And he like turns to leave, and you hear like McGillish, like in the background, like, "Where is he? Where did you put him? Where is the Prime Minister? Like, where is he? Like, you hear him like, oh my arm, because you see him like waving his arm about, like because he keeps forgetting that his arm's in a sling. He's like, God damn it! Like,
I'll wave the unbooted leg and just point.
He's like, God, Connor! Like this really, he goes, Prime Minister, sorry, like, can we please come back to the bridge, please? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. And he like goes off and follows them.
As soon as he's like definitely out of earshot, I just turn, sigh, pull out the court-martial form, start filling it in.
Dagger Raven sort of perks up at that point. Sir, don't worry. I have already taken care of it.
You don't fill out my goddamn court-martial files. This is the only way. The only way she'll learn. Now, you'll see in the notes on your 38th court-martial fall this rotation, a new, very specific rule. Rule 52 of your very specific handbook is don't bring pieces, or for that matter, entire corpses, out of one mecha bay to the other mecha bay without actually anywhere without the express permission of both myself and the medical team. Do you understand?
Are you saying this specifically to Vasily?
Of course he is.
Yeah, but you're both stood there.
No, but I was sort of like, at this point, I like look at. How do you pronounce your character's name again, James? Sorry, I keep
Vasilia.
Vasilia.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of look sideways at Vasilia, and I look back at Carter, and like, I am curious to know of the other 51 rules currently in place, sir.
There.
Perhaps a later time for a briefing would be in order.
God damn it, sure. Do you understand, Vasilia?
I guess I was on my way to dispose of this anyway. Would it be better to give it to the biological guys to have a look at this? And I wave at the foot.
Leave it in the bay that you kept the mech in, and your alcohol ration has gone. It's gone, actually. And then I like check another thing on the form, and then send it off.
Is he doing this as a bit of paper? Please do it as a bit of paper.
No, it's like a little like data pad thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm really hoping it'd be a bit of paper because I just walk past the disposal chute and drop it in.
The thing is, so he writes that, and you hear on your comlink come up, Valor. You hear Valor like, you have one new message. Court martial number 38 this cycle. Please read.
Send to spam. walk away. Return leg.
Vasilia, this is you hear Valor like, Vasilia, this is your reminder for your psychological evaluation report. She's
Is this coming out of the comms device?
yeah.
Oh, battery out.
Yeah.
2 different pockets.
We in the future, bro. You can't take batteries out of these things.
That just sounds like a challenge. I have a hammer and a heater pad. So
You see Valor like appear on like a hologram in like one of the bay bits. Like, that's not very nice. I'm just trying to help you. And she goes, fine. Like, it just if an AI could have a strop, she's throwing a strop. like,
She's just snoozed all your alarms.
use all your alarms. Like, she's like, I am also not going to remind you when it is fajita day at the canteen. Like,
I can read a menu, Val. Ugh. And I go and reinstall the leg where I got it from.
you
Well,
put the
the
leg
one that I didn't throw anyway.
Yeah. You get you put the leg back, and you kind of that same guy's still puking. So as he sees you come with his now bootless leg, he's like, "Please, God, no, God!" And he sees you like have to like because rigor mortis is like setting in slowly. So he's like you're like having to like be a bit more forceful to put it back in the seat.
Is he?
And he's like, "Ugh!"
He's got like a paper and clipboard for like making a report, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Or a pad or whatever, data
Yeah.
pad. I'll put an entry on his report about the weird foot.
Yeah. So you put that on and you
Then
see
carry on crawling over this thing.
Can you so what I want you to do, James, because you roll the same stats for your pilot as you do your mecha. Okay?
Oh, damn it.
So one of the things I want you to do is I want you to do system for me, please. As you like comb over this thing, trying to like figure out systems, like figure out some of the weird stuff about it, because there's some weird stuff going on. Like, you're not
I was
sure.
really hoping you weren't going to ask me that. System's not that good of a start. So, oh, just 12 under 13.
So yeah, like the most fascinating thing is the wings. That now that there's no energy running through them, like fall like a cape at the back, and you look at the power housings on them, and there's 4 of these like translucent, almost like membranes that fall back, and basically when you put energy through them, they become anti-gravity. Like they allow you to fly and stuff like that without, and it's actually a very efficient way of flying. Like if you could reverse engineer this, the power output for mechs in your, because you guys have to use thrusters and everything, like would drop exponentially. You'd be like golden. So that's a project, but there is also some weird stuff as well. Because you've only just like
It's only the first like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the first 20 minutes, and like the inside's weird as well. Like some of the systems inside are very odd. You notice that the guy where you've put the feet, there is like pedals, and like you guys are all very much like hands orientated. So it's very, you find it very weird that he's got like pedals that seem to have some sort of reactive, and you don't understand why.
I will obviously make the notes on the probably he's probably left by now to go and get some clean shirt 'cause he's throwing up down it. But I'll make a note on his data pad about all this stuff and possible uses and anything we can scavenge and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And as you like lick your wounds from the first battle and think about what you're going to do, and the fact that the prime minister of the Terran Collective is here, and like he seems to want to take you as his personal guard to this rendezvous point that he's still not told you where it is, so it's that's kind of worrying. And bear in mind he's thinking about taking 2 full battleships, well, semi-full battleships, to this place. It's getting pretty hot. So is there anything you want to do in like your downtime in order to like finish up your mission? Is there anything you want to look at? Or
I had a question. I was going to do like a database search of the record or sort of thing.
mm-hmm.
What I want to search is Unstas of the AIs.
Of the Aeons, okay, yeah, that would be a systems check, please.
Yeah.
Or systems test. Sorry, I keep saying check.
Sorry, I'm checking my character sheet for what my system is.
Old habits die hard, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, no. That's 19.
You check for a while, and there's a lot of redacted files about the Aeon. They're called the Aeon Primacy, and they call themselves the Aeons. You know this, but as soon as you start going to like specific like pilots that have been recorded, there is a lot of redacted data that you cannot access. Like someone does not want people to know about these certain pilots.
Interesting.
Pilots on our side or pilots on their side?
Pilots on their side. So the Aeons are enemy pilots.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there's sort of like there's no like authorization like associated with this redaction, anything like that. It's just like the information's not there, basically.
No, like so there's a file like of enemy Aeon pilots, but every single one of them is almost like blocked out. Like you found where it is, but there is like name blank. Like it's like
I'll keep like a copy of it and for a personal record, and I'll bring it up with Carter in a private scenario sort of thing.
Anything else we want to do? Because I think that's a good place to end it. If there's nothing
other than cracking on with the investigation, no.
Fair enough. Carter,
and general repairs.
Carter sits and writes an entire mission report of like basically the whole mission. Even though like no one reads them, he makes sure to write his report after every single mission.
Mm-hmm. As you do that, you like look at this thing in like Cider's Bay, and you look at the auxiliary now in Irin's Bay, and the sense of like, it's not dread, but it's not exactly excitement. It's like almost like shit. Like we're about to go in. This is the heart of darkness sort of thing. And that's where we will end episode 1. Lock in, Odin moved out. Our first session of Mecha Hack Desperate Alliance.
Whoop, whoop.
Nice.
Ain't
I like
dead yet.
What's that?
It ain't dead yet.
No, like you guys actually decimated him like shit. Like,
That was fun.
That was
Yeah.
great.
I went like full on video game tutorial in my planning of this. I was like, right, we're going to do tests so that people know how they work. We're going to do a fight against like a boss that could run away. You know how that annoying boss at the beginning of games where it's like you can't beat them, but you actually won. Like I was like, shit, like no, you actually killed him. Like that 10.
Never underestimate fireteam Odin.
I've also never seen that dice bot roll 220s.
That was
Jesus. If we were playing any other game, that would have been amazing.
We've always wanted high rolls for that fucking dice bot, and now we need low rolls. It's like 20.
Would be
It
like
knows,
20
man.
at this point. Yeah, like it couldn't dodge anything. It was like it was actually
The dice
Excellent.
bot needs that.
Well, let's do the bit that I'm actually, I get to do. So, first things first, wonderful GM of the stream, Addison, please do any shout-outs that you want to do, or plug anything that you, sir, want to plug.
Okay, so first thing I want to plug is Absolute Tabletop and Matt Click, who popped in earlier. They made this game, and the reason why I get to make stupid robot noises and like sound effects is because I get to play this game. So massive shout out to them. Check out their if you Google them, you'll find it. It's really easy, and they're about to release the mission manual, which is a bit of an expansion. So not sponsored, but Matt sponsor me. And then obviously I'm on the Pod of Many Things. We've got our episode with Laurie O'Connell, the creator of Hieronymus and Lichcraft, coming out this week, which was so good. That person, Laurie, he is so clever, and it's so annoying.
I might have bought that Lichcraft one. I'm still excited for that.
Yeah, Hieronymus is pretty great. And then yes, Pod of Many Things, and come check us out for the next 8 weeks, 9 weeks.
9
weeks after this. Right, we'll go all the way over to the other side with Big James, the easiest of shout-outs, please. Big James, do your shout-outs.
I hide on the internet in a place called The Loom. It's a Discord server. Come find us. We play games.
Quick and easy as always. Thank you very much, James. Our middleman over here, Jordan, please do all the shout-outs you want to do, sir.
Yes. I will plug this evening my YouTube channel, Uninformed RPG on YouTube, which is where I do my videos on getting into the hobby, basically. I'm a lot newer at this than these guys. I want to make my videos to share my perspective about that. Been a bit quiet recently, but coming up soon, I will have some videos reviewing our campaign that we've just done, which is Blades in the Dark Red Herrings. I GM'd that, and I'm going to have a couple of videos coming up about a review of that campaign and a review of that system. So watch out for those. And also, if you want to watch Blades in the Dark Red Herrings, I guess my other plug will be this guy, who is the host.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm
way.
not looking at anything. Whatever way he may be on the screen.
He's there. Like he's
This guy. Where the hell he is. He knows who I'm talking about.
Sending you a picture of the stream overlay so you can work out where you need to point.
This is something we should have done a while ago, Ben.
Well, you could just watch the stream, dude. It's me. He's plugging me. Someone in the chat asked which guy, who, what? Me. I am being plugged, and because I'm being plugged, I'll do my plugs. Right. So, you can watch us here over at twitch.tv/theflickeringtorch for more The Mecha Hack Desperate Alliance next week on Tuesday. Oh god, I almost fucked up the day. Tuesdays at 7:30 GMT, or give me a flipping second, because someone converted the time for me. So I'm gonna check.
1:30 PDT or something.
11:30 AM PT, which is Pacific time.
Yeah,
I want to say Pacific. Yeah, Pacific time.
Yes, to Pacific Standard Time, I think.
Pacific time. So you can catch us at 11:30 Pacific time or 19:30 good old British GMT. You can watch this whole show, our previous live streams, over on youtube.com/theflickeringtorch, because we got that vanity URL, baby. You can
Baby,
follow...
let's go!
Boo boo. Also, you can follow me at The Flickering Torch for more stuff. Also, I post videos, like regular videos that are actual plays over on the YouTube channel as well. So, thank you all. We'll see you next week. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Keep shooting bad guys.
Bye.